was 2, I moved up north, up to this little town called Kelseyville, and it's up north, about 3 hours.
I grew up skating in Orange County, California, in this little town called Tustin. It's right next to Irvine.
I got exposed to skateboarding basically through Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
The Tony Hawk video game.
Hooked on it at a wakeboarding camp that I used to go to.
And then my cousin skated a little bit. He showed me how to ollie one day in the grass.
They had a skate park in the back of their warehouse that they had. I got really bored and I was like, I wish I could do that. So I went back there and I tried it, and I've been doing it ever since.
You recording?
Yeah.
Okay, my name's Harrison, 13. I've been skating for almost a year.
Well, I started skating by myself because I lived in this cul-de-sac or whatever, just a court. And just watching skate videos and trying to learn tricks from that. And I bought a flat bar and like all this stuff, and I just tried to teach myself stuff. And then one day I met this kid.
What's your name?
Nick Sanchez.
What's your favorite skate shop?
Zoomies Board Shop.
Why do you skate?
Because it's fun.
What other reasons?
Because you're an
He
idiot.
lived like
That's not
a block over, I guess. And he skated too, and then we started skating together, and then after that I moved like half an hour away from my town, and I met like all the people pretty much that I skate with right now. So had a variety of people that I've grown up skating with, I guess.
Skate spots that I skated when I lived in Kelseyville would be Kelseyville High School. I used to go there all the time. Had the wall, had the 7 stair, had that stage, had a ledge. And that's basically all that they had to skate where I grew up. In my hometown, there's other towns like in the surrounding area, like Lakeport and Clear Lake, that has other things to offer, such as a skate park and stuff like that. But that's mostly where I focused all my time, was at Kelseyville High School.
The only like really cool spot we had was 2 flat 4, and it was basically what it sounds like, a 2 stair, flat 4 stair. I guess when I was younger, though, we used to just skate curbs, skate little 3 stairs, 2 stairs, not really that much to skating testing. Until I got a car, and then we started actually going around to like Irvine and Santa Ana.
Skating scene in Danville. When I got there really wasn't one, from what I understood. And I met like a couple of stoner kids that rode their skateboards around just for like shits and giggles. Didn't really do tricks or like actually skate, you know? They just rode around. And then I met Ian. He introduced me to like everyone that I skate with now. And that kind of became our skateboarding scene, and like we started our own little group. And then from that point, it was like everyone kind of noticed skateboarders, and all we did was just go to school, 3 o'clock hit, the bell rang, and we would just skate to high school, skate through downtown, just hit everything in Danville. The Mercantile was like a shopping center, pretty much, in the heart of downtown Danville. And that was like the main skate spot. It had like 2 4 stairs in a row. It had a 7 stair, a 5 to street, like a handrail, and probably like loads of other shit to skate.
When I decided to move to San Francisco, one of the main reasons why I chose here was because I didn't know anybody. I asked people at my high school, like, where are you going? What schools are you going to? What are you doing after high school? And I never got one response of them saying that they were going to San Francisco or anywhere close to it.
It was kind of known as like the mecca of skateboarding to like people down in Southern California.
The hills are just amazing. There's a whole variety of different spots, from banks to rails to ledges to manual pads to everything in between.
When I got up here, the story was kind of different. The spots were knobbed, stuff was taken out. Like, I originally came here because I thought I wanted to skate a bunch. Northern California in general just seems much more open-minded than Orange County. The spots, like skating-wise, are a lot rougher. They're a lot harder to skate than back home. I mean, I was blessed to have like some perfect spots back home. Changed the way I skated when I came up here.
The way Kelseyville is different from San Francisco is that it's the complete opposite. There's not a huge ethnic diversity. Everybody knows each other. It's a small town of 3,000. It's super rural. Everything's more spread out. My school was 8 miles away from my house, and then the closest mall was about an hour away.
I guess the main spot we used to skate all the time when we first moved up here, how I met like a bunch of my friends, was skating Lowell High School.
The basketball court ledges used to be like the main place for everybody that went to state would go to, because it's so convenient and it's so laid back. The perfect background, perfect ledges.
Got knobbed for a while, and Todd and I took some of the knobs off. Like, we took 2 knobs off a night just because it was like we had to use hacksaws and get through metal, and it was kind of loud and shitty. So now though, it's not the same vibe as it used to be. Well, it just kind of suck now. They're chunky. They used to be perfectly smooth before. I've never had any injuries that were like skate related that were that gnarly. Like, I've never broken a bone skating. I've rolled ankles. I've maybe sprained a wrist or something, but never like anything too crazy. I mean, I've had injuries where like I couldn't skate for a while, but that was like nothing to do with skateboarding. I was in a car accident when I was a freshman in high school, and basically it was a hit and run. I got hit by a car and was in a wheelchair for a few months, couldn't skate, and like I lost a lot of tricks, but when I was back on my board I kind of learned some new ones too, so like it was like not a good experience, I can't say that. It was like, no, it was a shitty experience. It sucked because I mean I'd see my friends all going out skating and I was just stuck at home, or like they'd come over to visit me and they'd all skate out front while I like just sat there and watched, and like, I mean, it was cool they visited me, but it kind of sucks seeing everyone skate too, and I'm just stuck in the wheelchair with my leg broken and my arm broken. I have a couple scars still. I had to get a bunch of surgeries done. I have a scar right here on my shoulder where I dislocated it and broke my arm. A couple like metal rods were sticking out of my arm for a while. I broke both bones in my leg also, like completely in half. Like, they just weren't touching each other anymore. And luckily they could reset my leg in place, so everything's cool now.
My current living situation is with Brian Hanlon, Jed Gabelman, Harry Hafner, and Todd Hitzeman. And we have our friend Chandler sleeping on a couch at the moment. And it's good, we've been living together. We've basically all been living together for the past 4 or 5 years.
I live downstairs with Todd, and then the other 3 live upstairs. The house is usually pretty dirty, it's pretty shitty. I mean, I go crazy trying to clean it all the time, but it's nice living with my friends, so I really don't care.
Living in the house and how people change, it's not a bad thing at all, because when it's like that, people grow. And even though everybody ends up having their own room, it just gives them their own personal time. And it doesn't necessarily, people don't get mad at each other as fast. There's not as many arguments. And when we do separate from each other, we do find other other people to hang out with and other friends and stuff like that. So it's not like we're so disclosed and we're not binded to each other, so that we can actually venture out and have more opportunities and whatnot. Like I hang out with my friend Nelson Brazil more often than anybody else, and just meeting him was a blessing because of all the opportunities that we've had and all the fun that we've had. And I'm sure everybody else in the household has the same ideas. I'm sure they have other people in their lives that they're glad they met because they've changed along the way. Todd barely skates anymore, and it's kind of sad, but it's true. People do get over it sometimes.
I wish Todd skated more. It's a bummer he doesn't. Like, I miss him all the time, like, 'cause he's one of my best friends. But if he's happy doing what he's doing, like, it's cool. Like, I love when he comes. It's fun all the time. He doesn't really skate that much when we go, but he's there for moral support, and it's just fun to hang out with him.
Basically, I think I've picked up my board more than like 6 times in the past year or so. I don't know what it was. I went through a rough time in my life, having to do with an ex-girlfriend, and then from there I just kind of started not to want to skate, and then I tried to get back into it, and I just really don't have the time anymore. And it like takes a lot of effort to like, I don't know, it's frustrating when you stop skating because like you're not as good as you were. So like retraining all the tricks, and like it takes a lot of effort, so it's kind of sometimes not worth it, even though I miss going out with everyone and having fun.
That was fucking good.
That was fucking good.
Damn, that was good.
That was damn good.
If I didn't come to San Francisco for school or skating, I couldn't imagine doing anything else. I don't know where I would be. Whenever I get dedicated to something like skateboarding, I don't want to do anything else. And whenever I get so dedicated to school, I don't want to do anything else. I really can't imagine doing anything else. I don't really plan on doing anything else for a long time.
I don't skate as much as I should, I feel. I have work, I have school, and just a lot of conflicting schedules. I get bummed on it sometimes, but I always have a great time every time I go out with my friends skating. We're finishing up our video, should be out pretty soon. I'll have a part in that, and just hopefully just keep skating from then on out.
If I didn't skate, I probably would still be playing video games, cooped up in my room, or like hanging out at home, and not traveling, not going on road trips, not meeting people. Skateboarding kind of opens you up a little bit. It's more than what average, or not average, I guess is the wrong term. I guess people that don't skateboard will never really understand what skateboarding is completely or entirely about. You kind of are more motivated to go on trips, you're more motivated to meet people. When you see another person with a skateboard, you kind of already have that common bond, or that certain thing that ties you together, and it's easier to make friends. And I don't know, skateboarding is kind of a little miracle, I guess.